Hello, good morning. Thank you for having me. Preparing, it's time to
Yeah,
prepare the most important moment of the season.
yeah. Well, you've had quite a bit of time off, I suppose, since the last game of the season. What have you been doing?
Well, mostly thinking about the game that is about to come. Um, I spent some time regretting the last game, to be honest.
Yeah,
uh, we've had, as you said, we had some time to rethink, but we could have had more if we won last game. So yeah, it was a bit of everything, regretting, thinking what went wrong, uh, what the next game might look like, who we might play against, a little bit of everything.
okay. We'll have to ask you then, I suppose. What is the mood like amongst the players after that last game of the season?
Um, I would say that obviously after the game, directly the mood was bad. Then we had a few days off to forget about it. And since we came back for trainings, since we came back on trainings, everything looks fine. I think we are all aware that what happened was a mistake. It cannot happen the same thing again, and I can see the players more involved in the trainings, more having more intensity. So yeah, I think we know what the situation is, and actually we had yesterday another day off, so I'm looking forward to come back to trainings this week and see where we are in terms of mindset and these kind of things.
Yeah. Well, obviously, we don't know right now which team it's going to be that you will play at the weekend. It could be John again, or it could be Busan I Park. Do you have a preference on either one of those teams that you would like to play?
Not really, because I truly believe that we are a good team, good enough not to worry too much about the opponent. I know we have not a good history against Tottenham. We haven't beat them this year, but again, I really trust our team, our qualities, our strengths, and there is, in my opinion, there is this little difference between um, changing everything on your identity according to the opponent and preparing for the opponent. We have to prepare, obviously. We have to, well, even regardless who it is, we know we have played already 3 games against each team. So when we kind of know what might come, and we have to prepare, obviously, but I wouldn't focus everything on the opponent and forget about us, forget about our strengths and qualities and everything. So it's this little balance, not to forget how good we can be also.
Do you think that defeat maybe helped wake the players up a little bit? Was there a tiny bit of complacency? Do you think maybe just think, well, we're in the playoffs now. Obviously, you wanted to finish it in second, I'm sure, but did that loss to the Dragons just make you guys think, oh, okay, now we have to really concentrate and be at it and win our individual duels and our individual battles and that kind of thing?
Probably, yeah, probably yes. And this is something that has been happening all season for us. We haven't been able to win three games in a row. Every time we win two, then we have a, I don't know, step back, or I don't know if something psychological, or but it happened. So I would like to think that the last game we lost something, but we didn't lose too much, and it can be a wake up call, a good wake up call for us, in to face the next game more focused than the last one. We should
Well, you
know.
don't need to win the game, do you? Obviously, it'll be a home game, and there's that home advantage rule. This is your first time experiencing this. What do you think about that rule just in general? Obviously, it heavily favors the home team. It will reward the team that finished higher up in the table. What do you think about that rule just in general?
Well, it's something new to me for sure, and I, I don't know what could be fair, to be honest, because it's a small league. It's a small country with just two professional divisions, not many teams, um, and sometimes it's a big difference between bigger clubs and smaller clubs. It might not sound fair, but at some point you have to reward who's been higher up the table after the season. The season is fair. You know, after 36 games, 30, how many? I don't know, 6, 7 games, you are where you're supposed to be. You were not unlucky after 38 games. So if you were good enough to be higher, yeah, why not have a little advantage? Anyway, you will have to face a first division team also. So yeah, I don't think it's too bad to have advantage before you face a K1 team,
Yeah.
because you will have the biggest challenge coming later. So yeah, why not to make it a little easier until that point? You know,
Okay. Yeah, fair
it's,
enough. Well,
I've never
sorry, go
had
on.
that. You know, this kind of rules. I don't know if there are in other countries with these rules. Cannot think about something like that. Usually, you when you get promoted directly,
Yeah.
but well, if they have the playoff system, um, as I said, the biggest challenge is to play K1. It seems fair to make it easier when you play another second division team, because you already play against them. You already beat them a little bit in position wise, you know. So I was better than you for the season. I should have a little easier before I face the big guys.
Yeah. What's your coach been saying about that? Obviously, he's obviously a manager who likes to attack. His teams always score lots of goals. He doesn't seem like the kind of coach that would obviously play for a draw. So, is that any of that kind of mindset been put to one side? Like, we're not here to draw, we're here to win.
Well, nobody mentioned anything about that rule. I guess everyone knows in the back of our heads, but no, we don't want to play for a draw. That's not a good plan. Usually, doesn't go well. So many times you are a little afraid, because, in my opinion, in my experience, if you had that advantage, you have that plan to go. Okay, let's draw. It's enough. It means that you haven't prepared that the week before. You haven't prepared to attack. You haven't prepared to score or win actually. And the question is, what if the game goes sideways for you and you're 1-0 down? You haven't been preparing to attack now, so what then? So it's kind of tricky to think with that and go for that. We know it, but it's like a emergency plan. Okay, let's see in the last minutes, we have to all defend and just clear balls. That will come. If it has to come, that will come in the last, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe. If they put a lot of pressure on us and the game is going not so well for us or something. But it's not something I would do, and it's yeah, it's not a good plan in my opinion. And nobody mentioned it. It's like, let's go play normal and let's see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, you are top scorers in K League 2, as I've already mentioned. And, Kim Do-kyun's Suwon team scored a lot of goals as well. So this mentality must kind of come from him. What kind of things does he say, in training or on match days? Is it talked about, just like this attacking mentality, or is it just kind of understood now? The players know what he expects, that kind of thing.
Well, it's a bit of everything. Yeah, he he repeats a lot that we have to know ourselves, our strengths, and we have to show them on the pitch. It's, well, basic coach book. What you can do, just show me, do it. And we have, um I think our team is well balanced in terms of good defense, decent good midfielders, and speed, dangerous players in attack. And that's what he keeps telling us. Like, do what you're good at. Don't try to be someone else, or just be relaxed. Do your thing. Trust on the team. You are part of a team. especially when it comes to defense. Then when it comes to offense, sometimes he points out whether he wants you in this position or in another, but he encourages the players a lot to do what they are good at and gives them confidence to be dangerous, to be sharp, to look forward, to try to try their best, basically.
Yeah. Well, it seems to have rubbed off on you as well because you got 7 goals this season. You must be happy with that return.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't score too many goals in the last few seasons. Yeah, now I've I've got this question quite a lot. I don't know why, but I always thank the first the coaching staff how we practice the set pieces. I'm many times the target. That means, yeah, well, that means that the team is working with me, so I have more chances to score. Then the kickers, we have a really good kickers, left foot, right foot, both of them. Every week we change a little bit the set pieces as well, the movements. So it's a teamwork. It's not just me, and I haven't I haven't even scored a couple of penalties also, which that would be someone else would would make the penalty, but it's just me and my kind of shooting. When it comes to set pieces, it's everyone. It's how we cross, how we move, how we clear certain spaces. So it's not something I'm doing alone.
Yeah. Well, Seoul E-Land have been kind of stuck in K League 2 for quite a while. Obviously, they were founded in 2015 and they've been there ever since. They had that first season where they made the playoffs in 2015. Haven't reached it before since then. They're owned by a big company, as you know. They've always been very busy in the transfer market. There's always a lot of investment in the playing squad. Perhaps more so over the last few years. Things just haven't worked out for one reason or another. For someone like you who's come into the club this last year, what do you think's been the difference? And what do you think? I mean, have any of the players who have been there before sort of mentioned what's different about this year?
I couldn't talk too much about the difference. I wasn't here before. I don't know what's the reason. Um, I've seen something that, well, it happens in many teams as well, not just ours. But I don't like the fact that or I've heard, I don't know the numbers, I don't know what exactly is true, but I heard that they change quite too much, too many players every season. So not just for us, but for any team, if you change the squad, if you change, I don't know, let's say 10, 15 players every year, it's difficult to build something, you know. Um, but I would say this year we have amazing group, probably I would say better than the other years. And my yeah, my wondering whether we promote or not is there's a good group of players. I know some players sign up for army for the Incheon, so we're gonna lose few of them. But last year, for example, we came so many new players, so we need time to get to know each other, get to know the coach, the playing style. Imagine this year changing another 15. Is gonna They will start again. I'm not sure if that's been happening in here for every year. That's something I've seen this year, and I've heard as well from people from the club. Like, sometimes we from former players, they told me, yeah, last year these players. So if that, for example, has been happening, it's not it's not as good, because you can it's difficult to build something.
Yeah,
So that might be one of the reasons, but I cannot say what was different before. I don't know. I wasn't here before, and honestly, I didn't follow K2 up until now, to be honest. So I don't know what was happening inside the club. Um, what I know is a big group, as you said. we're not a team owned by a city government, city hall like others, which which is good. And in first division, historically, the best teams are always the ones owned by companies. This is good. This is definitely good. If they can find this little piece to make it stable, to make it step closer, as we are now in this path, um, they can build a great future for sure.
Yeah,
It's because it's not, yeah, you don't depend on public money or, the city, the government or the city hall.
yeah,
It's the company how far they want to go.
yeah. Well, the manager has experience in the playoffs before. Obviously, he won the playoffs. A bit different. It wasn't a promotion relegation playoff, but it was that year in 2020 where they just had a promotion playoff. So he's done it before. And then last year with Suwon FC, he won the playoff against Busan I Park. So you and the players must look to him and think, well, he's done it before. Not that we don't believe in what he says, but we know that if things start to go a little bit become a bit difficult, or it's hard, we can trust him because he's done it before. He has that experience.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. The team, as players, we don't have much experience in playoffs. The one who has is, is him. So, um, last last week we didn't talk too much, about the game coming and anything. But I expect this week he's gonna start advising, giving some tips. But as I've heard from other former teammates and people who knows him, they always tell me about him that he's calm. He's relaxed. He's not a coach who likes to shout and give stress in these difficult moments. So yeah, I'm sure that he will give some tips to players as a group or as individual. But yeah, we'll rely on his experience. Yeah.
Yeah. If there's one thing that makes Seoul E-Land different or stronger from the other teams, something that will help you get into K-League 1, what do you think that is?
Um, Unity probably. Let me explain. We are not a team with an individual player, with a player who scored 15 goals, with a main player. With one this kind of teams. Everyone has one foreigner, two foreigners, who pretty much do everything, and the team moves according to them or responds to them. They are in charge of making the points basically. We are not that team. However, as I said before, we are a well balanced team. We have good defenders, good fullbacks, good midfielders, attacking players, and we also have the same quality behind at the bench, and even players who don't get selected for the team. So I would say the unity of the team compensate, maybe, if you can put it like that, a little lack of individual quality sometimes, which is good as well. It made us the top scorer team in the league anyway. So yeah, unity and well balanced team, I would say, is our biggest point. If we don't forget that, if we don't want to go now individually, we're not we're not that team. If we don't forget that, we have big chance to win any game, not just the next one. If another playoff comes, we could also win that one.
Yeah. All right. Well, I suppose last few questions. What kind of message would you have for the supporters?
First of all, we have to thank them. There are a lot of people who's been coming week in, week out, no missing one game. I've seen fans on holidays coming all the way to Gyeongnam or Busan or far away, and so it's, first of all, we have to thank them for the support they gave us this during the whole season. And the last message is that this we have the chance to make history. for the club, for many players, also for them. If I were fan, I wouldn't want to miss that. I
For
don't know
sure.
what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen. We might lose, yes, for sure. It can happen. It's part of a game, but it's better to be together, even in losing. If we
Yeah,
win, we are all celebrating, and we will enjoy and have fun, which will be amazing, and always probably remember for many fans for many years. But also, if we lose, we have to be together, and we have to remember what is this moment, what how we're feeling, how we're handling it. Because if we end up losing, we're gonna try again next year. We're gonna do it again. It's not like it's the end, anyways. So again, we have chance to make history. Why not to be there and be part of it?
for sure. All right. Well, Osmar, thank you very much for your time. Great to catch up with you again, and best of luck at the weekend.
Thank you very much.